We are live, children.
Yes, we are live, bitch.
Ready to
Beach,
serve.
beach, what's tea, kids?
Yes.
YouTube land, Twitter land, Instagram, Snapchat,
Yes.
BGC, and last but not least, LA witches, bitch. California witches. What's tea, you
What's
guys?
tea? Puss ass hoes.
We are back, me and my sister, together on a video for you guys. And today we wanted to do a light recap of the new Charm that has come out.
Yes.
The new season of Charm. This is season 6, I believe, isn't it?
Season 6?
Is it? Or
of
5?
Charmed? No, this is season 1 of Charmed.
Oh,
season 1, episode 1. Yes, these girls have rebooted. They have rebooted.
She's rebooted. She's a bootleg. Okay.
No, that's what she is. No, she's a bootleg. That's what she is. But she is a 480.
Are we really here to tear her apart?
She is a 480 quality bootleg, bitch. The bitch ain't even 180, bitch.
No, she's not 480, bitch.
She's 480 T's, girl. She's very blurry.
So before we get into this, we'd like to let you guys know that we receive your emails and your messages. We appreciate them so much. Contact us at rainatees@gmail.com for readings and spell work, honey.
Yes.
Dream interpretation, bitch, cleansings, core cutting, bitch. Get your man
girl.
back.
Ooh.
Put your man away, girl. Get your girl back, honey. Put your girl away, honey. Stop the cheating, stop the lying, stop the bullshit, and stop the games, honey.
Stop the games, bitch.
With that being said, I wanted to give a little bit of a disclaimer. If you have not seen Charm, the new season of Charm, or the reboot of Charm, we will be going into spoilers.
Yes, spoiler alert.
Yes, but we'll let you know before we go into the spoilers. So I just right now want to talk about, off the bat, our first impressions. Seeing the show, what did we get? Before we get into any, like, what happened, who's this, who's that, let's just get into how we felt and responded from the show. So, Miss Raina,
yes,
you and I have grown up with the original Charm sisters. Okay, Phoebe, Prue, Piper, and then later on, what was her name?
Miss Paige.
Paige, bitch.
Miss Paige Matthews, girl.
Yes.
What's Paige? Yes.
So I'd like to touch on now we did do also on this channel
we sure did.
We did like a preview,
girl. We sure did,
and we was not having it, honey. We
did a
scalped her down.
Pre-promo, bitch.
We scalped her down, honey. We snatched the fake ponytail, bitch. We snatched the eyebrows. The whole neckline, girl, was gone. Okay, when we were done with that in that show, because we were not having it. Especially being the OG girls that came from
the
original Charm. We were not having
the Supremes, honey.
And yes, the ambassadors.
Ambassadors.
So I wanted to get your opinion of this first episode and walking into it. What did you overall feel? Was the theme and what was your impression of it?
Walking into it, I did come side-eyeing her. I did, because the preview gave us a pretty much flavor of what the first episode was going to be. So I came in side-eyeing her. I came in ready for the fuck shit, okay? I came in ready to talk at the computer screen, okay? I came ready to read, okay? To just look for anything that I did not like. I did, and I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed. So yeah, I did go in with some sort of.
And by the end of the show, would you say that your expectations changed? Were you more disappointed, or were you a little surprised?
I was disappointed.
You were more disappointed.
I was absolutely disappointed, and the show must not continue on for a second season, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I want to give my little 2 cents.
Yes, which you have not given me, so I don't even know, girl, because you have held that back.
Right, okay? I didn't tell you anything. I was like, let's just get on the show and talk about her. So again, I was with you when we went in for the preview, and
Right.
I was not having it. I was like, I kind of was like side eyeing. When I got into the show, it's very bubbly, it's very cute, and it's almost Disney-fied, is what I will say. I get a very Disney-fied impression from this reboot of, I was going to say bootleg, bitch. This bootleg season of Charm, honey. She's very Disney-fied. And I also feel a very pacifist, kind of like table, spoon-fed motif, design, paradigm that's geared for these girls. I feel like this season of Charm is for Generation Z, okay? I feel like she's very Generation Z for the girls, very young 20s, like we said, bitch, very early, late teens to early 20s. And
but girl, 1 second, girl, because when we watched this show, girl, I was in the 7th grade when Charm came out, 1997, okay? And you're
true.
younger than me, so how is it that us, but we are magical bitches though, but I'm saying like, we took it in, but now it's like the girls are older, but they have to be spoon-fed?
Yeah, it is, but it's funny. I watched on YouTube this documentary, very well put together documentary on the differences and the similarities between Generation Y or the millennials and Generation Z, or Generation Y and Generation Z, or whatever they want to call it shit. But anyway, it was very interesting because I came to understand, we came into the game when shit was like just getting hot, when the internet was just getting hot. Cell phones were just getting hot. Like, we kind of came into it where I think we kind of were placed on the scales already primed and prepped to be mature. Like, I don't think that there was a lot of spoon feeding TV shows on TV back in our day. Now, mind you, the girls were pretty PG. It wasn't like a whole bunch of violence and all over the place. I mean, the 90s, they did have their shit, but a lot of the conversations, a lot of the actresses, and a lot of even, when you look back at that Charm era, those women were 22, 23, 24, 25 when they started that. Yeah. And they still had a maturity about them that said very mid to older 20s and even 30s. They were very mature women, even at that age. And now when you look at the difference of like a 22-year-old or 23, 24-year-old now in comparison to back then, they still look like they just got out of high school. Yes, what I'm saying? The girls are still looking bright-eyed and wide-eyed and, oh my God, and just, they haven't really, so we kind of come from a different generation in a sense. Absolutely. And I feel like this show is kind of catering towards the generation below us,
You're right. And I want to say this because it's funny because Charmed, the girls, they did not live in the home, at least not all of them, when the mom died. And in the first episode, the mom was already dead.
You giving spoilers, T.
Yeah, it's gonna be spoilers, girl. Spoiler alert.
Okay, wait, before we get there. Okay, so I feel like we're done with the analysis of interpretation of the show. Raina feels like, bitch, she's a chop. She does not want season 2. I myself, from the first episode, I feel like it was very Disney-fied. I was mildly entertained. I wasn't impressed, but I was mildly entertained because it was a lot happening so fast. And now we're going to get into spoilers. So right now, if you haven't seen the show, bitch, go watch the show, honey. Go to movie pirates or whatever.com.
Spoilers from now. Back. Yeah, spoilers coming.
And then come back to finish this video. So let's talk about that. They got their powers right away in the first episode. They got their powers.
But I also want to say that for the old Charm, the first Charm, the daughters, they did not live in the house. At least I don't know if all of them, or at least one of them did, but not all of them did. The mother was already dead. In Charmed, and they went to the house, which was they didn't live in. And they discovered everything. So these were women who already had businesses, who are already supporting themselves. Honey. Contrasted to this show where these girls are still living with mom at home. So it's a very much different dynamic, you know. So it is centered for a younger crowd because
because if you think about it, I mean, 20, you know, the girls are 22, 23, 24. A lot of them are still living at home, still going to school, still kind of like, so that's normalized for them. That's very normal for them to see. So let's get into the dynamic. So Miss Mom being there and being present.
Yes.
I think it was very spoon-fed. You know, the mom was already kind of hinting at the fact that they were witches in the first episode, because she was like, you know, it's kind of like it was a lot of foreshadowing that was already seen, and everything kind of happened so fast in the first episode. Like Miss Mom it's kind of like Miss Mama knew she was gonna die.
Yeah, she was kind of giving her goodbyes, like, oh, you're my daughters, I love you so much. You know, your strength comes when you're together, type of tease. And yeah, Mom, we know, you know, that type of stuff. And my thing is, you live with this woman and you don't know she's a witch. Like, how?
Right. Y'all ain't never been up in the attic, bitch? Y'all ain't never seen the Book of Shadows, bitch? Like, what? Shit. Like, I mean, that was just,
It was Candles the house in that attic, though. Like, when you look at the footage, the mom has the candles already set. It's already the altar there.
Yes,
it looks the
circle of protection.
Yes, it looks a lot like the attic from the old Charmed.
It was. I mean, it's the same house. It's the same windows. It's the same setup. It definitely is. So now let's get into the character dynamics, and let's get into our interpretation of their personalities. So sister number one, you know, the SJW warrior, honey. And I just have to say, girl, it's like, I know, you know, we get it. Excuse me. We get it that it's a lot going on in the conversations surrounding women's liberty and women's rights, and me also being a trans woman and being on that side of the social spectrum. Okay, I know the girls may have their arguments about the biological, honey, but we're talking about the social spectrum. Me also being on that side, I feel like, you know, one of the sisters, the SJW warrior sister, she was too hard, and it was a lot that she was getting away with, as far as that I kind of felt like was a bit of inequality.
And her name is Melanie, by the way. Her name is Melanie.
So Miss Melanie, I didn't even remember her name, child. That's just how.
I'm on the Wikipedia.
Like she was getting away with a lot, and she was very hostile towards men. She's also a lesbian in the show. So, I mean, usually when you do come upon the lesbian crowd, sometimes they do have a bit of a pause when it comes to their male counterparts, either through experiences of dating or probably early childhood. That's not really explained about this particular character, but she was just, throughout the first episode, she was just hostile towards all the men, like just every man that came. She was just like, girl, no ma'am, you know. And then you have the Phoebe, okay, what was her name?
Her name is Maggie. And
that's weak. I'm sorry, Maggie is a very weak name. Or if you naming your child Maggie, girl, you bitch, I don't even know. Like, you must be trying to raise them to be a nurse or an elder care physician or something.
Bitch, you better call her Magdalene, honey. That better be her real name, Magdalene.
For real. But Miss Maggie is the Phoebe of the show, and she definitely carries on that motif of, she already has a man. Well, the other girl, Miss Melanie, she had her girlfriend too, but Miss Thing had her man, honey, and they had kind of broke up, and the boy was kind of pining for her, chasing, kind of popped up where she was or whatever, and she is more of the sweet, kind of blatantly emotional character of the show. I do like her, but she does have this kind of whimsical, oh my God, you could just kidnap me and bitch, I won't know, I'll just be screaming for dear life kind of situation. Whereas her powers being, and we haven't gotten to the powers yet, well, we'll save for the powers. We'll go to sister number 3, which I feel like was real real shady and real crazy because shady on the mother, bitch. Miss Mother, I don't really live in Miss Mother because it's like, how are you gonna have your daughters grow to the age of 20, possibly 22? Okay, we're gonna just say 22, and you never set these hoes down. You could sit down with these hoes and be like, oh, you know, you're sisters and you're so great when you're together and you're this and you're that, but you never tell these girls they got an extra sister, okay, a half black sister. Like, what's up with that? Like what is that? Like, and then, you know, it's hard for me to kind of empathize with this mom. Like, the mom honestly better have some shady ass dealings, because the first thing we get is she got slayed. You know, she when the dark spirit or the ice spirit or the frost spirit, whatever it was, came, she was like, oh, I have 3, you know, I have 3, so back off, or whatever the case may be. Honey, that was not enough. The girl still came and they collected her. And it's like, what was her dealings? Because they kind of try to paint her off as the victim in this situation. You know, the sisters are so distraught and this and this and that. But Mama had a lot of shady dealings going on, because if you got a child, okay, and you got your kids that, and I know this happens in the world, you know, some parents or some women, you know, they have a child with somebody else and it's such a scandal for them, or they're afraid of the repercussions from family or their new spouse or whatever, so they move on with their lives and they just have another child out there. But girl, we're in the West, okay? We're bitch, we're in America, honey. So it's like, ain't nobody wasn't really going to be coming for or checking Miss Mother Dearest, honey, if she had another child on the side. And this child, you know, was just out in the world on her lonesome. We don't really get much backstory of, she did say her father died. Her father died, Miss Half sister, and she's the genius. She is the genius of the show. So, what was your interpretation of the 3 sisters thus far?
Well, Melanie, the SJW, I did not like her at all. I did not like her whatsoever. I felt like the whole plot of the male teacher or the protesting going on and the Me Too type of involvement, and the rape and molestation, that type of stuff, that storyline that I was going through, I did not like it. I felt like it was too much too soon. It just was just thrown at you like if it was already happening. It wasn't like it was a development. It just bam in your face. And she even like hit somebody. She hit a guy. She punched him. So she was the violent one in the whole fucking episode. And it was kind of like not even a slap on the wrist. It was just kind of like, well, don't do it again type of stuff. And of course, the person that told her that was her girlfriend, come to find out later. So I was put off by that. She turned me off. The sister, Maggie, she was getting on my nerves as well, because I did not like the storyline with her and the sorority sisters, and kind of like just kind of wanting to belong to that. It's kind of like she has a desire to belong to something, but yet she doesn't know at this time that she has this coming up. So I kind of feel like she has some sort of like longing to be a part of a group or part of something, and her sister have a hard time connecting with each other and bonding, really, because they're so contrast. So yeah, her personality was getting on my nerves. They kind of wanted her to be the comedy of it, or like kind of like the lighthearted type of energy. But I felt like it was very ditzy and very young. I don't have patience for that. And the last one, the eldest, Macy, she would be the one that I would most, I guess, identify with, but I don't know. Her acting was not giving me. Her acting was not giving me. It wasn't. And then the guy who they put as the boyfriend, like, honey, his eyebrows were arched for the gods. Okay, arched for the gods. I was like, girl, this is, honey. I mean, no tea, girl. The girl's gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? So any person that gets the job, whatever. But it's like, yeah, I could, you know. He was not very convincing as the boyfriend. And then her powers, the way that they were, I didn't like that infamous scene where she's at the bar and the beer just kind of like flies off of her hand. Like, I wasn't a fan of that scene. I was not a fan of how she presented herself to them. It was very quick. I did not like the fact that it was even presented to us as the public in the previews a month ago. I feel like we should have been kind of surprised,
Right.
not have that
Right.
thrown at us. So the fact that we already knew what was gonna happen, I feel like it was like, ugh, girl, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, and it was shady as far as like the way what you said, like the mom, the way she kind of casted this mixed child to the side with no real explanation that we're probably not gonna get, or I don't know if the ghost is gonna come back of the mom and explain later, maybe, but I need that explained, girl. Like, why did you give this girl up? And it's just shady or whatever. You know, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, that is shady.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it with the three of them.
And also, I wanted to touch on that notion as well, because throughout the show, you kind of, or towards the middle and climax of the show, you know, you see Macy, which is the elder sister, the half sister, her just pining so hard to try to get to know this woman. And it's like, this woman cast you aside, and like, you never knew her. She never reached out for you, girl. You had to go searching for it. Well, allegedly, we come to find out that Miss Mother casted for her to come back or whatever. The mother casted for her to return. But it's like, bitch, okay, why are you casting for me to come back when your ass finna die, honey? I need to have a conversation with you about what, like, so had this emergency situation not come up in the balance of the world not being in danger, bitch, I just would have still been a nobody. You know, I would have been like that off child. Yeah. So I think that's very shady. And I also think it's very shady that why couldn't she just be half Asian then? Why is it always like the half black child? That's kind of like, you know, we could cast her away kind of thing. So I like that interpretations on the sisters. So now let's talk about their powers, okay? And how the powers emerge and how we kind of perceive them. So you have pointed on this, and you were like that it's more convincing when, and you see it as a motif done in many shows, X-Men, you know, any show with a person that has powers. It's usually in a moment of strife or great stress, or like their life literally flashing before their eyes, that their powers manifest. And in this situation, or in this show, I felt it was very watered down. Like, where their powers manifested, it was all watered down. When they first step into the home, some weirdness happens, and all the lights go out. So they're like, okay, what is that? You know, kind of situation. That was okay. I'm okay with that as foreshadowing. Like, okay, y'all three are united, and your powers are going to start manifesting themselves. But you know, I wish that, because there was an episode in the show where Phoebe, I'm going to call her as Phoebe because she has Phoebe's powers. But Maggie, the middle sister, or the ditzy one, she was walking through the woods, and it's like, girl, everybody done told you not to walk through these woods, bitch. Your ass still go walk through the woods, and you know, you get attacked by a demon dog. Why couldn't it have been Melanie, and then her powers of freezing would have manifested in that situation? But instead, her powers of manifesting was when she was talking to her girlfriend, and her girlfriend was trying to get back with her. So it was just like,
it was very kind of like whatever.
It was watered down. It was like, where's the stress? Where's the strife? Like, where's the turmoil? And then in Maggie's situation, her powers manifested when she was
in the sorority with the sorority girls.
With the sorority girls, and they were kind of, you know, she was a little bit more stressed because they were kind of looking at her a type of way and like checking her out. So she was kind of stressed. And then when she started walking through the crowd, or when she shook the girls' hands, she got their tea. You know what I'm saying? And it was so funny because even when she was walking through the crowd of the girls and like she was getting all their tea in her telepathically, none of it sounded real. It was like girls that were talking about stupid shit, and it's like girls really don't think like that. Like, them hoes should have been talking about, like, bitch, how they hated this person. Oh my god, her breast stinks. Oh my god, you know, is my tampon on? Is my period? You know, am I gonna miss my period? That's the type of shit that I think women are kind of. I could be wrong. I could be definitely wrong, and don't. Bitch, don't come for my throat, girl. But even if you watch the show and you kind of look at the scene as it happens, it kind of seems a little, it just wasn't real. It just wasn't realistic. It's very Disney, very Disneyfied. So in Macy's situation, which is the eldest sister, and she has Prue's powers of telekinesis, hers kind of came up when she was arguing with her man at the bar, and then the bottle flew across the room. And I'm sorry, bitch, the way the bottle flew across the room, anybody in, modern day, bitch, living, you can see that she didn't throw the bottle. It just flew out of her hand, and like nobody was weirded out. Nobody saw it. It was just her and her man. Nobody got into that. It's a bottle that smashes up against the wall in a low chill bar environment. It wasn't like it was a popping club. It was like a low key bar, and nobody. It was just nothing. Like, oh my god, like I have to go. Oh my, and Fish is so good for that in the show. Like I have to run off the scene. Goodbye, kind of thing. So she runs off, and it was like their manifestation of powers to me was just very Disneyfied, and it's hard to be taken serious. It's just hard for me to take the show and these characters serious. So what about you, sis? I'm sorry. I'm like,
I mean, no, I completely agree with you on everything. You really broke it down as far as like how their powers manifested during the episode, and the last person to manifest was Melanie, and she when she ran out of the coffee shop or whatever, she was snatched.
Yes, she was.
And I want to talk about that, the whole snatch thing, especially in this episode with Melanie being the SJW about women being assaulted and taken advantage of and abused and things like that. So for this snatching to happen and for them to wake up, because when they snatched her, but when we come to the scene, they're all tied up. So they were all snatched.
But didn't Maggie get snatched when she walked outside on the balcony or something like that?
Okay, so they all get snatched after they go through whatever they go through as far as like activating their powers, it seems.
So it was Melanie first, then Maggie, and then did the other sister get snatched? I think she did.
Well, Melanie was the last one to get snatched. Melanie was the last one. Yeah, because I'm kind of passing by the episode right now, so I'm like looking at certain scenes. And I see that Melanie was the last one snatched, and you didn't even see who snatched them. It was just like she just was like
kidnapped,
just grabbed, and then they wake up in the attic with Miss Thing over here, Miss British Queen, tying these women up, and it's like y'all got to be tied up. Why do they have to be tied up to be explained this? Why do they have to be held down against their will? And it kind of just adds to the whole male, because it's a man who they wake up to, the whole male aggression, male superiority, violence, because when you're tied up against your will, it kind of reminds you of violence, of you're going to be hurt or something. You don't tie up somebody in a chair, a stranger, if you're going to, for anything good. So I did not like that. It already came off as nefarious to me, the fact that he has to do that. Did the Witches Council approve this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did the white lighter
yes, okay, because what's tea?
So I wanna add to that as well. The creator of the show, like we said in our other video, she did a show about, she was a writer or producer for another show about a woman, a Latin woman, and I think that she was kind of going through an expression of feminism, but being independent about it. Like I don't know if she was sleeping around with other guys, or like it was something like, I don't know if it was something similar to the show Insecure, but it was something like that. Or maybe she's a 20-something-year-old virgin or something. I don't know. It was one of those shows that she did that. So that woman, we already said in the last show that woman, the producer, she kind of is already geared towards like women's voices, women's rights, women's this. And I get that they're trying to make it realistic to the tone and the times of what's happening today. But why couldn't it just been a different world? Like, why, bitch, I mean, when the old charm, it was like, it was just so nice that the women were like so strong and just independent and beautiful, and
because they just were. It didn't have to be explained.
They were real super witches. They were real superheroes. And it's like with this with this season, I'm feeling I feel like what they're gonna try to do is have these girls bud into flowers, bud into their, powerful, beautiful selves. But even just the mousiness,
the weak sauceness,
aggressiveness, the damsel in distresснess, it's just like it's a lot of growing that they need to do. And like Raina said, bitch, I don't know if I have the patience. I don't know if I have the patience to stomach another episode where it's like I'm rolling my eyes at something so stereotypical for them to be stereotyping, you know what I'm saying, or typecasting.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to Miss British Queen who snatched them. Okay, so the girls were snatched against their will, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was by a white lighter. Okay? And if you are from, the original Charm era, bitch, the white lighters are basically they're like the fucking angels. They're guardians of, the chosen ones and the charmed ones. And, they watch over people. And their power, they have to go to a council, bitch. The girls have to approve and XYZ. I am a little side-eyeing Tim because it's something that you pointed out that rang very true. But in the old Charm, like when the girls would teleport, it would be a very angelic, kind of bubbly, it was bubbles,
with
not
chimes,
bubbles, but
chimes and shit. It was like chimes ringing and.
But when he teleported, it was very warped and very chaotic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm noticing the difference in that. And then by the end, now this is definitely spoiler tease, bitch. So get ready, honey. But by the end of the show, the mom came through in the Ouija board, or some spirit, because we don't know if it's the mother, but some spirit came through in the Ouija board and told them don't trust Tim, which is the white lighter guy, the alleged white lighter guy. So it is something a bit nefarious about him, and I think that you picked up on him having to kidnap them, even to explain, instead of just meeting them at the house. And okay, if they're throwing lamps at you, because Macy, she was using her telekinesis, bitch. She was throwing lamps at this nigga, and he caught it. But it's like, why couldn't you have
displayed your powers too?
Right, and just kind of dodged that. Like you could have dodged that. You could have just, you know what I'm saying, like. Listen, ladies, like I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to explain something. Like, listen, but no, you had to he eventually, unloosed the ropes or whatever. He untied them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit very interesting too, because I never knew white lighters had magical abilities. I never knew those girls to have magical abilities, like the ropes and stuff. And yes, they can teleport and they can heal, which he did display that he can heal. But I didn't know that, bitch, they could do telekinesis and unbind the ropes and shit like that. Like, I didn't know that. So, again, we're just picking up on all the subtleties of things that kind of hint at where the season might be going. But for the first season, my impression still stands that it was very, very Disney-fied and very tablespoon-fed for Generation Z. So, I don't know if they're going to like it.
I'm not sure. And even with, because I'm looking here, when Maggie, she had to take a walk and she was low-key attacked by some dog demon type of thing.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm.
And he healed her.
Mm-hmm.
And, so he does have some sort of, and it was similar to how Leo would heal because they had that white light thing on it.
Right.
So he did do that.
He might be, but the girl said don't trust her now.
He still can't be trusted. And Miss Macy, she's giving you scientific teas.
Mm-hmm.
She's giving you experimentation and looking at the microorganisms and trying to find out like solutions, like a scientific type of angle, which it is different. I will give them that. I do like that she is, like the smart one.
She's a bit more of the skeptic. She is.
Yeah, and she kind of she gives that feminine energy, kind of reminds me of the old Charm as far as like the age and the maturity level. Yes. I feel like she has it more like a grown woman type of tease. If it was 3 other bitches who look like her, that would have been the show. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's like her and she's tall, it's just the contrast between them, and she has like the kinky hair. I don't
do
know.
like her though. I like her. She's not the best actress. I'm hoping it does improve over the episodes. But I do like her. She has an independence about her and a strength about her that she doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to be aggressive like Melanie to get it across, and I respect that about.
She ain't have no mama. That's why.
Huh?
She ain't have no mama. That's why she's more independent. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have that coddling growing up. So it's like, Macy, honey, you did that because listen, you didn't grow up with no mama, and you made it as a scientist.
Yes.
Okay, making coins, the smartest one out of all of them.
Out of all of them.
And the tallest.
Yes. And the most pretty bitch. Okay, like low key. Because Maggie with this lace front, because I know that's a lace front on Maggie's head, bitch. Front. That wavy piece at the end, like nobody here does that, sweetie. Like,
girl, she got a type 4 lay, and I also want to kind of touch on this little controversy that there is controversy behind.
Don't tell me she got a type 4 lay.
Well, there's controversy because two of these actresses, 2 of the 3 leads are mixed race, as far as like mixed with black. And this show is being promoted as a Latina show. But so people are feeling some kind of way about this because you have 2 actresses that do not identify.
White American Latina, bitch. Let's get it right.
And
white American Latina. Yes,
white Selena Gomez tease.
Yes.
That is what these girls are trying to give. And that's not the case with 2 out of 3 of them, you know. So this one has the wig on, giving you Latina passing, and the other one is giving you like mixed race. But she's still, you know, there are Latins who look like Macy, okay? So but she still doesn't match because her hair is kinky compared to the other girls, you know. But yeah, there's a controversy behind that.
So you mean to tell me that Maggie's real hair is like kinky?
It might. I'm not sure because I have to look her up. But she's half African American and half something else.
Then they should have let her grow her real hair because it would have been a nice kind of tie. It would have related her more to Macy instead of trying to like ostracize her. Because honestly, none of them, like Maggie or Melanie, which is the SJW girl and the sorority ditzy one, they don't look like sisters at all, and none of them look like the mother. Okay, the mother looks like the whitest passing one out of all of them.
Out of all of them. Out of all of them.
And she's dead. Okay, she's gone.
She's gone.
And it's just like, yeah, it's very pushing for Selena Gomez type.
Yeah,
Jeez,
very. And it's like, if this is a Latina type show, why aren't you girls giving us Santeria? Why aren't you girls giving us Madre Mary, bitch? Why aren't y'all giving us Santa Muerte and all the other girls? You know, what's with this British white man over here trying to explain some Book of Shadows, and y'all having Melinda Warren in the Book of Shadows? That's not y'all tease. Where did y'all get this book from, honey? Because y'all supposed to be Latin. There's nothing Latin.
From Michaels, bitch.
Okay, y'all got that shit from Michaels, bitch. That shit is, there's no Latin given over here. Y'all might as well have just had them be light skinned and mixed, all of them.
Yeah.
Instead of just having.
I would have rather white girls. Honestly.
Yeah. Or bitches that would have been friends and came together.
For the original Charm, they were all brunettes or dark hair.
Yeah, they were all brunettes.
Until Paige came, you know.
But Paige played with her hair color though. Paige was blonde, brunette, and redhead.
She was blonde and she was red. She was also a natural. I think she was a natural redhead. She might not have been. She was redhead first when she first came, and then she went blonde, and then she went brunette. But it was like, you know, it was just such a strength and a seriousness and a maturity to those women from the original Charm that I don't pick up from these girls. Like, and I call them women. I call the old Charm girls women, and I call these girls. So it's already like,
these girls are not witches yet. You girls are not witches yet.
Bitch, y'all have been given. It's like the pacifier was already with y'all names on it, like Maggie, Melanie, and Macy. Yeah. And then when the pacifier was stuck in y'all mouth, y'all were just all of a sudden magical bitches. But with the other girls, it's like they already had the original Charm ones. They already had it in them. They already had that fire. They already had that independence. So it was like, there was more connectivity to see their powers kind of come up and manifest. And I think when Prue first manifested her powers, she a bitch was coming for her. Like, wasn't she trying to almost being attacked in like a room with boxes or something?
I don't even remember.
I think something like that. Like, and then she like threw his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it was just like, even when Prue used to like squint her eyes, bitch, to do her power, she had that look, honey. It was just such a severity that, yeah, there was some bad hoes. So I don't know. This Disney 5 version, I'm gonna give her like 2 more episodes of watching her.
And I also want to talk about, what did you think of the villain in the end when the guy morphed into the ice creature?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about that scene? And when they battled him and defeated him, what did you think about that part?
Spoon-fed. I feel like it was very spoon-fed again, because the girls weren't really training their powers. Okay, they're the most powerful. Yes, that's already given. They're the most powerful, so their powers are going to come natural to them. But there was no real, it was like, powers out of control. I don't know what's happening to me. And then the next scene is we're fighting the demon overlord, and bitch, like, we got more powers. And you know, when you think about like these demon overlords, like, they've been living for thousands of years or hundreds of years, and then they just get wiped out by these children. You know, well, let's talk about a few things, because I want to talk about also. So now that we're on the villains, I want to talk about the girl's boyfriend being possessed.
Maggie's boyfriend
being possessed. That was not explained. We don't know. It's like, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? But she got lured. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because even in that scene, I think before she even went off with him, no, that was before they went to go check on the mother. But it was a scene where where Melanie, the SJW sister, she came after Maggie after they received the text from their mother and to come home. Mm-hmm. And she goes in, and bitch, Melanie is just like all over the place. Like, oh, you know, you have the right to say no. You know, watch your drinks. You know, just going to each girl in the dorm and kind of like
being real extra,
just doing that. And it's
doing
like
the most.
It's like, you know,
nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for it.
To have an openness for males to be fans of, because I know there were plenty of men who enjoyed the Charm Sisters, or the old Charm Sisters, you know what I'm saying, and had crushes and, you know, enjoyed them, and they were sexy in a way without, I mean, the girls were sexy now, bitch, and they used to wear some revealing ass outfits back in the day.
They did.
But it was never like, and then also,
let's not forget the gay male fans, okay? Because we're important.
It was for a lot of gay male fans, but guess what? Them hoes back in the day was even pulling, like they were pulling every last one of them. Prue had it the worst a little bit because I think her man died, and then she was like trying to, yeah, he died. But Piper and Phoebe
dating the house, dating.
It was like every show, new
bitch Paige dating
at the door.
Yes, all the girls was dating, pulling Trey, bitch. Piper, next door neighbor Dan, bitch. Dan was fine. Dan was fine, bitch.
Okay. And then Leo, and then so it was like there was like a mutual kind of respect and understanding of the men that kind of were in their lives. Like, not every man was an enemy. Not every man, you know, they had to like, oh my God, watch your back. But then it's like with this show, it's like immediately all the men have to be looked at sideways. You know, you can't trust them. Oh my God, he's gonna kidnap you. Oh my God, he's gonna assault you. Oh my God, your boyfriend was the demon who was gonna like attack you. So going back to the scene with Maggie with the demon boyfriend, like there was no explanation of that. There was no hinting of that. It was just like they just placed that on him, because when we first see him, he's like wanting her not to go into the woods, like, babe, or whatever, don't go into the woods, like, be careful, I want to walk, you know, I want to give you a ride or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm cool, we're taking space, we're taking a break, whatever. And then the next time you see him, you know, he's like trying to pull this hoe aside to talk to her, and then like it ends up him being the damn demon. And I'm like, what, we, you know, at least in the other Charm, you would get kind of little hints, like either their eyes would change or you would see them kind of give a little smirk, or it would be something. It was just nothing, just placed on this kid. So he was the demon guy, or one of the demon guys. They exorcised him, okay, which did they throw like the baking powder on him?
Yeah.
Okay, so they threw baking powder on this queen, honey, and she was healed, and he's back. So I guess he's still gonna be around. We don't know. Oh yeah, he is, because she kissed him. So they're back together. That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the ice doctor, okay, so the doctor was the one that the mom was going after because of again, sexual harassment allegations, that he was being fresh on campus with the girls, and the mother suspended him, and he was trying to fight the suspension, and it seems like she was kind of killed to kind of back that, or like to get her out of the way so he could come back, because the old man did come back. And then the old man was fresh with Macy, because Macy was working, or the older sister, the Prue,
mm-hmm.
she was working in his department, and he was fresh with her
with the blouse.
A little bit. It wasn't, but it was kind of like a situation where it's like, okay, is this where this is going? Because he was like, oh yeah, like nice blouse, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, usually men don't pay attention to women's fashion, so when he makes a comment like that, it's like, okay, girl, where are you going with this kind of thing? So that was that. And then it turns out that old man, who was in a wheelchair, he could not walk, bitch, he gets up and he's the ice demon creature. Okay, mind you, can throw ice dagger spears, and he threw the ice dagger spear and he instantly killed the boy who
got punched, Melanie, the one that got punched by...
He got punched in the face by
Melanie.
Miss SJW. He instantly killed him, but want to sit over here and chit-chat with the charm ones. And it's like, ugh. It's like, come on. Like, I need some reality. Like, throw one at them, and then throw one at the guy, pin the guy to the wall, kill him, and then throw one at the sisters, and then they stop it. And then, a manifestation of dialogue or whatever the case may be. But he's sitting up here babysitting them, like, okay, so which one are you, like, are you guys gonna, like, who wants to cast a spell? Like, who's first? I'm waiting, kind of thing. And it's like, Disney, girl. Disney should have just taken charm, honestly. Like, this girl, the producer, whoever she is. And what's so upsetting about it, while we're venting so much about it, is because we know it's not the same. We know it's not the same. It's not the same cast. It's not the same crew. It's not the same, directors, and it's not even the same generation or people. But still pay at least a little homage. If you're gonna take that name and all that it comes with, we're not talking about something that only had 2 seasons and then died over decades. Bitch, we're talking about 5 seasons. Like,
Charmed had 8, actually. She had 8.
Oh, bitch, excuse me, girl.
Yeah, she had 8.
She had 8.
That's the longest running female-led show in history.
There.
Yes.
Homage, little girl, because I know the producers like 26,
and these bitches, these whores, talking about they never watched it. They haven't seen it. Yes.
The actresses?
Yes, they said that. Yes, they did. The actresses.
That's disrespectful.
How dare you? How dare you?
Disrespectful.
Have not watched
Privileged, little spoiled, little brats. Like, you should have watched. You should have, Miss Macy. You should have watched Prue. You should have watched her. You should have. Know how to fucking act.
And that's the one who said it. She said that shit. You said that shit, Macy. How dare you? Real fresh. Real fresh. Humble yourself, daughter. Humble yourself. You're standing in the shoes of greatness.
Right. You're walking in a legacy that was
legacy.
Done. And all the girls, every girl who grew up with that there. Respect.
Respect.
8 seasons.
8.
How do you think 8 seasons were made, bitch? There was legitimacy. There was seriousness.
Okay.
There was intimacy and emotions,
all of it,
and sisterly love, and all that type of stuff and chemistry. But well, it wasn't that much chemistry because Miss Prue from the old days.
But you know, but still, one thing about them three, even up to the end, bitch, them three hoes had chemistry on camera. Like I felt that shit with them three. Like the way that they just touched each other, like the body language with the acting was convincing as hell to me. Like
it was convincing. I felt like we were watching, three sisters.
They touched themselves. They touched each other like they knew each other. There wasn't like any type of like space in between. Like they just like. These women were friends or some shit like that. I don't know, but the chemistry is not the same here.
It feels forced. It
does feel forced.
Disney-fied. I just keep saying that word because when you watch if you've seen a Disney show, you know how extra bubbly they try to make it, and it does seem exaggerated, and it does seem goofy, and it does seem like mom, kind of like. Whatever. And it's like the Ultron ones were never like that. Even in their humor, even in their goofiness, even in their ditziness, it was still, those were women. We grew up watching women. And you want us to believe that these three little girls are like the most powerful, bitch?
Yeah.
Girl.
Like, y'all really acting like y'all got 8 seasons to flesh this out, and I don't think you have it.
I don't even think you got one, honey.
Okay.
After episode 3, if I'm still rolling my eyes at this show, I'm not going to watch it.
Sorry.
I'm not going to watch it, and she will be canceled, honey. We will be canceling her. If you really want to know what's good, bitch.
Yes.
We will be canceling her. She will not come. She will not tarnish that legacy.
You will not.
With this.
It's blasphemy. This blasphemy.
So I think that's all.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I think that's all we have had to touch on in this show.
So with that, you guys,
we will see you in the next one.